Hey guys, it's Natalia, and I would like to explain in this video what is included in the listening course, why I think it matters to learn to hear every single word in English, and what exercises you can learn to do on your own. Most importantly, you're going to learn to do all these new exercises on your own, and you can work with any types of audio and video materials and continuously improve your pronunciation and your listening skills. The reason why people usually take the listening course is that they have already achieved a certain level where they understand the main idea, and then they understand what people say in the movie, and they understand what people mean in a conversation. But very often people share with me that I understand the main idea, but I don't really understand every nuance of what's going on. And if it's a business meeting or if it's a serious negotiation where a lot of things are at stake, I have a feeling that I'm missing out on something and I'm not really sure what, because I cannot hear every single detail. Or people tell me that, you know, if a person is talking to me directly and I'm looking at the face of my conversation partner, I can understand what people are telling me, and I can guess so much by the gestures, and people are helping me understand what they really mean. And if people see that I don't get it, they simply slow down and make sure that I understand them. But as soon as I, let's say, walk into the office canteen and I hear foreign colleagues of mine sharing a few jokes, I don't understand why these people are laughing. Or if I pass people by and they're standing in a group and they're just, you know, having a conversation, and I join the conversation, and if people are not speaking to me directly, if they're speaking to one another, I might be standing there willing to join this group, but I cannot really understand what they're talking about.
I don't understand.
It's not that I cannot understand, I really do not hear every word of what they're saying, and that's why it's pretty difficult for me to jump in and to join this conversation. And the same applies to a movie. Again, in the situation when a person is not talking to me personally, let's say if I watch a movie and I'm listening to the monologue of the main character, right? Or people are talking to one another in a very quiet voice. And if it's a long monologue, and if it's something that I have nothing to do with, people tell me, you know, I don't really pay attention. I want to pay attention. But I don't hear every word anyway. Again, I cannot figure out what exactly they're saying. I think I understand. And the funniest thing is that people always give me some random numbers. They tell me I understand 80% of what people are saying in the movies. I understand 90% of what people say. I understand about 65%. And I always ask people, how do you make these calculations?
How do you do it?
I mean, how do you know what is 80% if you have no idea what is 100%, right? We can only know what equals 80% if we know what 100% is. And 100% is when you hear every single word. Let's say, imagine if you want to sing a song, it's your favorite song, but you do not know the lyrics of the song, you don't remember every word, you're not going to be able to sing the song, you're not going to be able to do the karaoke, and you will hum some notes, and you will go without saying anything, you know, half of the song, and the other half where you know the words, you're going to sing them. Because you don't know every word, and for different reasons. Maybe you never bothered to learn them, maybe you simply cannot hear what the singer sings and therefore you cannot repeat it. But anyway, if you do not know every word in the song, you're not able to sing it. So every word in the song is 100%. If you do not hear 100%, the chances that you understand 100% of what people are saying is very low. It's very fragile, because in order to be able to understand everything, you need to learn to hear everything. And what happens, and what people share with me every single time they join the course and they start working on the course, is that I understand half and I'm imagining the other half. Because you have to understand that we've been trained, especially in business, to react very fast. And what happens a lot is that people do not listen to other people, and people do not even listen to themselves. Very often, people cannot repeat what they have just said, let alone they cannot repeat what other people have just told them.
Could you repeat?
We really do not hear what we're saying because we don't have the habit and we don't practice that. And when we hear what other people tell us, we immediately add our interpretation of what this person said. And our interpretation is based on our emotional state, on our opinion about that person, on our opinion about the situation, and on our previous experience. It's very rare that a person is able to hear every word and actually repeat the facts, repeat what the person said, not what they think about what the person said. You hear the difference. Therefore, this course, of course, it focuses on how to hear every single word, but it's more than just a language course, and it's more than just learning to move to a more advanced level in English. It's more about understanding other people, because all my courses are about moving to native-like level. I'm not a native speaker myself. And very often when I speak, native speakers think that I either went to a private school where I developed an interesting accent they cannot really place geographically, or they ask me which English-speaking country I've lived in, or I don't sound like a native speaker. I don't pretend to be bilingual because I'm not, but I'm pretty sure my level is native-like. And when I communicate with people, I don't feel any boundaries, absolutely. And what fascinates me about learning a language is being able to understand people. This is what I care about the most. I want to speak their language. I want them to understand me very well, so that people don't struggle understanding my accent, my pronunciation. They don't struggle understanding the structure of my sentences, because I don't want to draw their attention to me and my attempts to speak their language. No, instead, I want them to feel easy around me, so that we speak the same language. And if we speak English, their language, then it means it's my job to speak their language well, because they grew up speaking this language. They speak it since birth. They grew up watching different cartoons. They grew up having different superheroes when they were kids. And they were surrounded by different environment. When they imagine certain words, they see different pictures. For example, it can be the word apple. I see apples that we had in our garden. They see different apples probably from their supermarket, or probably they see an iPhone, I don't know. But we have different images, and we were brought up in very different environments. So for me, learning every single word that people tell me is a straight way to learn to understand everything they say between the words. Their intonation, their emotions, their state of mind, their attitude to life, their values. Because if I only focus on hearing the main idea, I'm going to imagine the rest. Very often the main idea is important to understand, but all these details, all these nuances of what people really mean, they add so much color. And if you remove this color, you're going to be left with this one main vague idea, and you're going to understand a person on a very superficial level. If you want the depth in your communication, if you want to understand people on a deeper level, it's essential that you learn to hear every single word of what they say, because then you're able to understand 100% of what they're saying. And if you understand 100% of what they're saying, you're on the same page. You can repeat what people tell you, and people will understand that you're really, really listening. You're not pretending that you're listening. You're not trying to use any tricks to show that you're listening. You're really paying attention to what they're saying. And coming back to what I said earlier, that people do not really hear themselves. We do a lot of exercises in the course to actually learn to hear how we speak. Because what happens a lot is that I ask a person, why did you say that? And a person will tell me, I didn't say that. What do you mean? I didn't. I couldn't have said that.
I couldn't say that.
Or a person doesn't understand why the client is upset. And when we listen to the recording of a phone call, a person goes like, oh my God, I can't believe I said that.
I can't believe this.
I thought I meant something different, and It happens all the time that in our head we speak beautiful English, but when we actually say things out loud, we hear something completely different. When you're able to hear what you are saying yourself, again, you hear what you're actually saying, not what you think you're saying. And how to check that you hear what you're saying? You can repeat exactly what you said. And you can repeat what other people have told you. How do you repeat? You write it down. If you can write it down word by word, it means you really heard the person and you can repeat. And you're not imagining what they said. You really hear it. And if you hear it, you can understand it. If you understand it, you can repeat it. If you can repeat it and you understand what a person meant, you can give a meaningful reply. And that changes the quality of communication 360 degrees. So this is why I have created this course, because if you are a beginner, if you are, let's say, elementary, pre-intermediate, intermediate, whatever, the methods to learn to develop listening skills are the same for every level pretty much. I hear a lot of stories from people, and look, I've been trained to be an English teacher myself. I know which methods are being applied, and I don't like them because they're good for beginners, they're good for intermediate students, they're good for language exams where you're trained to complete certain tasks because you're going to be evaluated in an exam based on how you're doing these tasks, right? Most of these tasks and most of these exercises teach you to either hear certain details, for example, how many colors do you hear, or in which year did the war end? You know, you are trained to identify certain details and to hear them. Or you are trained to understand the main idea. But I haven't found any exercises or any courses or any programs that really teach people to understand more than that. They really teach people to understand other people and most importantly themselves. When you are advanced, and if you want to go beyond advanced, you know, if you really want to move to native-like level, if your career depends on how well you communicate in the English language, if you want to do some big things on the international arena, then it's not enough to just understand the main idea and hope that, you know, you can imagine the rest and it's going to be correct, or that, you know, you're going to nod when people tell you something and they're gonna understand that you kind of understand what they're saying. You need more precision in your thinking and in your interaction with other people. Therefore, learning to hear every single word is for people who want to move to a more advanced level of communication with other people, when it doesn't really matter what language you speak anymore. You know, you speak to people, you understand them because you hear everything they say, and every intonation, and every nuance, every emotion, and every word, of course, and you reply and you forget what language it is. On the one hand, yes, it's more for people who need, not for people who are advanced, but for people who want to have more advanced conversations, meaning deeper conversations and more meaningful conversations. It's not for advanced students. Everyone, even if you're pre-intermediate or intermediate, and I recommend that all types of learners learn to use self-correcting algorithms so that you know yourself how to correct your pronunciation, how to understand what people are saying, how to work with videos, how to work with podcasts, how to work with audio files, how to work with voice messages, and how to continuously learn to understand people with various accents better, better, and better. And if you learn that, it doesn't really matter what language level you have according to some certificate. You can always apply this system of algorithms to improve the way you hear people, and you can become more attentive to yourself and to other people. That's what the course is about.